One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. Peace and blessings to every one of you. I thank you for being here and watching this video and following me on this good message that I want to put out to you today. And I hope it reaches you. I hope it really reaches you, and I hope it changes your perception. And if you already had this perception, I hope you continue on and you spread the word and you share it with other people who may not be understanding this message. But the thing that I'm going to cover today is I'm going to cover trap music and drill music. You know, the effects of trap music and drill music on the black community. It has a serious effect. And this type of thing has been going on for quite some time. You know, trap music and drill music, it runs parallel with each other. They run parallel because they're both creating the same situation. There's a lot of things that stem off of trap music and drill music. A lot of things stem from that, and it has a history. You see, let me take you back to a time in the early 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. See, let me say this first. The first thing you got to realize is the age of hip-hop. You know, not too long ago, hip-hop hit its 50th anniversary. Hip-hop is only 50 years old. There's people alive today, obviously, that's over 50, that people in their 60s, they seen hip-hop began. They remember a time when there was no hip-hop. You see, they remember that time. Those of us who are under 50, we might have been born right about the time the hip-hop was created. Those of us who were like close to 50. And but most people that's much young, people that's much younger, to you, you came into this when it was already fully established. You haven't seen it evolve and grow into what it is today. Only thing you see is what you get right now. So you don't know, you might not know that how it gets here. And sometimes when you're older, you look at the younger people and you say, oh, how they don't know this? Well, just like when we was young, when we was in our teenage years, things that we wasn't aware of either. So they the same way. And at least for us, we didn't have the opportunity, or we didn't have the resources to go back and find certain stuff because it wasn't documented like we able to do it now with the advancement of technology. They can go back in time and catch some of these things. Now, what I was going to get at was there's a culture of hip-hop. Well, there was a time before hip-hop. And the time prior to hip-hop, if you look at what was going on in the black community, it's very, very different than what's going on today. Because they didn't have the influence of hip-hop. They didn't have the influence of drill music. They didn't have the influence of trap music. Their influence wasn't there. Now, there were things that were going on that there's always going to be certain people that's going to do certain things. But it doesn't mean everybody's going to do it. Some people just got a mindset to do wrong, no matter what's going on. But then the other people are influenced to do wrong. That's how this works. So if you look at the black community prior to civil rights, prior to rap music, we were doing great in every aspect of being social, being human, and developing relationships, economics, all those things. We were doing excellent. We had family structure. We had, I think, like 80% marriage rate, meaning we were marrying at a rate higher than white people were at that time. We were building businesses. We had advanced our illiteracy rate from the time we came out of slavery up until, I can't remember the exact year, but we went from illiterate to literate faster than anybody has ever done it before. Teaching ourselves, we were making great strides. We were getting somewhere. We were financially becoming a powerhouse. We were doing all of those things great. And then they hit us with the civil rights movement, which put a stop to all of the things that were going great in our community. We wasn't leading the way in violent crime. We wasn't leading the way in out of marriage wedlock. We wasn't leading the way in prison. We wasn't leading the way in any of those things. We had our family intact. We had the church. And I said in another video I made, the church has failed the black community. But we had the church intact. The church was keeping the values intact. And then that kept the family structure intact, which meant we was making some good gains. But then everything changed. Civil rights time, which was in the 60s, mid 60s. Well, it started before that, but the one that they talk about the most, like the mid 60s, moving forward. And then not soon after that, hip hop came into effect. But it wasn't the hip hop that we have right now. It was a different type of hip hop. It had an actual message. You know, you had people like back then. You had, you had a lot of different groups that was putting out a lot of different messages. It wasn't just rapping about inflicting violence and things like that. They were actually rapping about what was going on. They didn't say they were doing it. They wasn't encouraging you to do it. They were just telling a story. That's different when you're telling a story versus when you saying what you're going to do to someone or how you creating beef and all these problems, right? So you keep moving forward. We still was very, our family system and everything was still intact. And it was starting to decline. It was starting to go down at this point because of civil rights. Then you look at the music started to change. Now we still had message before we changed. We still was doing messages. We still was being positive. Everything was still going just fine. I remember, man, being in middle school, people like we had rap groups like I'm having a blank right now, but we had Poor Righteous Teachers. We had Most Def. We had oh man, I can't even call Flavor Flav, Chuck D, all of them guys. I can't call it a group right now, so I'm drawing a blank. I'm saying this off the top of my head, so I'm drawing a blank. But you had a lot of those rappers that was doing positive music at that time. You know, we was rocking the X hats. We had the African medallions. You know, we was all in it. We was really into it, and it was because of the music was influencing us to move like that. You know, we was doing the 5% of stuff. You know, we was following Farrakhan, Islam. You know, everybody was doing something very enlightening. You know what I'm saying? We reading the books. You know, this is what it influenced us to do. We was in like 8th grade, and we reading these books. We follow these teachings because the rap music was telling us this is what we need to do as black people, as black men. Read these books. Message to the Black Man, Farrakhan. Just, you know, the autobiography of Malcolm X. Listening to the rappers telling us about this, we wanted to do it. Then watching groups like X-Clan, they come out with the, you know, with the beads on, not beads, I don't hate to say beads, I can't call it a real name, but they come out with the all African, you know, garb. They had all the symbol of life. They had the all CNI. They had everything. And like, we wanted to be like that. We wanted the knowledge. And that influenced us. See, it can have a positive influence. Music, they say music is just music. It's not. It influences you. But everybody that we was listening to, this is what they was doing for us. We was feeling strong, empowered. We organizing. We creating groups. We doing a lot of good stuff at that time. And then they dropped G-Thing, which was, G-Thing was Dr. Dre and them with Death Row Records. Ain't nothing but a G-Thing, baby. Remember that? So they dropped that. And then that's when they started hitting us with the gangster rap. You know, they had the Ice Cubes, which it was cool music. We still weren't fully into it yet because, I mean, it hit the scene going hard. Don't get me wrong. We was all buying it. We liked it, but it didn't take us off the positive tip because we still had all that positive music out there influencing us, even though that music had just dropped. That type of music, we wasn't listening to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't listening to nothing about no gangster rap. That wasn't a thing back then. It was out there, but it wasn't like nobody. We weren't. Well, being from on the East Coast, we wasn't really on that. It wasn't like that wasn't moving us. It was good music, but it didn't influence us as much as the positive stuff did. We was really on that more. But then they started shifting. They started playing less positive and more of the gangster rap. They started playing more of that. So then when the shift happened, people was getting less of the positive and more of the negative. That's what I call it, negative. But we didn't see, at the time we didn't recognize it like that. We just thought, all right, this is what we doing. Then it got to the point where it was no more positive, not playing on the radio anymore, not on videos no more. Because we used to watch Rap City, we used to watch BET, Rap City The Basement. We used to watch all of those channels, and they were showing positive stuff. Then it stopped. It went away. It was no more positive rap on the videos. It was no more on the radio. It was just all negative. It got to the point where it became all negative. Then, around 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, they started dropping the trap music. The trap music came out. Like, what is trap music? So this is the music for the guys who are out here pushing weight, moving stuff on the corner. That's what this was for. That's what this was about. And talking about being in the trap. You should have known better by them calling it a trap. And that went on for a long period of time, still going on. And I must jump forward. So then you had trap music and drill music going at the same time. Now, what is trap music? Trap music rap about having a spot where you're moving stuff out of. The drill music is they talking about taking your life. And it don't matter who, they taking your life, they taking your family life, they taking somebody's life, another beef with another rapper, that's what they're gonna do. And what are the effects of all this? With just like what we used to listen to, the positive music used to influence us this way, this trap music and drill music is having an influence too, but it's in a negative way. A lot of people are buried out there in the graveyard behind trap music and drill music. A lot of people. A lot of people are in the penitentiary because of trap music and drill music. Because the trap music got them out there being dope boys. It's influencing them to go out and do that because they're telling them how much this costs, how much it costs for this, what you can have if you do that. You can live like this, stay in the hood, represent the hood, don't ever leave the hood. Drill music say it's gonna beef with another rapper. It's gonna, if you say something out of line, we taking you out. And then when we take you out, we're gonna come to your where they buried you at, and we're gonna do a video out there talking disrespect to you. Then the rivals see the disrespect, and then they're gonna come back and do something back, and then they're gonna put it all in a song, and then eventually you're gonna get caught in something. They're gonna take that song, they're gonna play it. Look, I told you this is what he into. He gave the whole thing right here on the tape. That this on the song that this is what he did, and we got all the evidence to say this is what happened, and he's saying it again right here. That's drill, and then you gone. They're coming to pick you up. It turned the women into, it turned the women negative. You know, that trap music, club type of stuff, talking about women in a certain kind of way, women doing a certain kind of thing. And now all the girls are influenced by that because that's what they think the dope boys like. Because the dope boys got the money and they got to attract them because that's what they want to be with. So they're going to start taking on this persona of what they're saying in the song. Now so many girls going that route. They're in strip clubs now, on the pole. Unexplained. Well, I didn't say unexplained, but they getting pregnant. They don't want to be pregnant. They're going down to the clinic. You see how these things all start to connect? Nobody wants to be married because everybody want to run the streets, especially the women. Empowerment. This is empowering. I get to do what I want. I'm free. I can go dress like this. I can hit the clubs. I'm having casual sex with multiple guys because guys do it, right? So we gonna do it too. That's what they saying. Yet they carry the most responsibility because they the ones who carried the baby 9 months, but yet they don't want to be responsible for it. They still want you to make the decision, but they're gonna let the guy do what he wants to them. Then they're gonna come up pregnant, and then they're gonna run down there and get rid of it. And they're not gonna marry anybody. This is the influence. This is what the influence of this music is doing. Guys ain't going to get no jobs. They don't want to do that. They want to do what their favorite rapper said. They want to go throw money like their favorite rapper. They want the instant gratification like their favorite rapper. These guys are lying. I know how these record deals work. I know how they work. And they're not designed to make the artist rich. They're designed to make the record label rich, the producers rich, the person who's shooting the video rich, the person doing the wardrobe rich, and the person who they rent the cars from rich. It is not designed to make the rapper rich. But they talk about it on these trap songs as if they got so much money. You right now, with the job you got, you probably got more money than they got. You can't, I'm telling you, if you go look at these contracts and look how they do them. But anyway, stick to the topic. Then you got the drill. You see the videos these guys make. They make a video disrespecting their ops. The ops see the video, then the ops retaliate. These guys going on Instagram live and posting up saying, pull up, this is where I'm at. And then the people pull up on them and then they get to shooting. This drill music. These are drill rappers that's doing this. I don't know what's caused them to go, well, the music, of course. But, you would think that some people want to shift and do something different. They're not shifting. These guys are in this for real. But this is what happens to the younger people who listen to this. They want to follow in their footsteps. They don't understand the culture of what these guys already understand and what they might be doing and why they're doing it. You got people that ain't even affiliated with this, never grew up in this lifestyle, never grew up in this area, that's going to be influenced by that. And they're going to start doing it. And then they're going to get taken out of here early because that's what's going to happen. It's not a game. It's not a joke. It ain't nothing to play with. You don't understand what you're doing, don't do it. But they hear the rappers do it, and the rappers make it sound real cool. They don't understand these rappers are in shootouts, all-out warfare. And most of the people who follow them are influenced by them, who glamorize it, they don't understand what that really is because it's so glamorized. And the people who ain't in it, they see it from afar and it looks so good, they want to be a part of it, not realizing what that means to be a part of it. It means you're probably going to go to prison or to the graveyard, is what it means. But since they don't live in that area, they don't live in that culture, they don't get it. They think it's just, these guys are just playing. These guys are not playing. They for real. And they putting that stuff on that song, they're not playing it with that. That's real stuff they're talking about. They're not playing. And you get influenced by it because you think it's a game. You think it's just music. It ain't just music. That stuff is serious. They mean what they say. They're not playing no games. And young people jumping right in thinking there's a game. The young women are jumping right in thinking there's a game. They're moving on that time, not realizing that that's going to ruin your life. If you're in it, you're in it. You grew up in it, you grew up in it. You can't change that. Understood. Sometimes you can grow up in an area, and even if you don't want to be down, you got to be down. Or people are going to treat you like you're down, even if you're not down. I understand that. I'm talking about people who ain't in it, and they're trying to mimic this song. They want to do what they doing. That's what I'm talking about. You want to mimic this, not realizing what this means. These guys are serious. Your life is serious. And you can lose it really quickly. Whether it be spending the rest of your life in prison or leaving their life permanently and just going, they're taking you out of here because you involved in this type of lifestyle. Go look at all of the rates of crime and all of the things that's going on in our community, and look where things changed and how did we get here. Look at when the music changed. Look at when they started making us look elsewhere instead of to God, like we were once looking towards God. We was going to church when the church was good, and we was doing what we had to do in church. We had the values. That music didn't stand a chance when you had values. But they took all of that away, and now you're left with nothing. And that's why these things happen. That's why these people who follow this method right here end up in the worst places. We commit the most violent crimes. We got the most people in prison. We got the most out of wedlock births. We got the most people who getting unaliving babies. We got the highest of everything. Of things that's of importance, we leading the way in. And it's not a good way that we leading in. We leading in the worst way. And it's influenced by culture. And music the arts is what makes culture. And that is the culture. And it's a subculture, but overall it is a culture that everybody pay attention to. Nobody's paying attention to the other part of the black people. They're paying attention to this subculture because it's very influential. It's very influential. When they tell a young kid in a song he had this much money just by doing this, they telling them in the drill, you don't like this person, you off them. And they for real with it. And then it's just all connected. All of our problems are connected to a lot of this stuff, this music. Because these young guys, they don't want to hear the positive. That's lame to them. They so used to hearing the corruption in this music that they're going to follow that. And they're going to find themselves in prison or unalive. And there's only one way to fix it, is that this type of music has to stop. But to convince people that they shouldn't listen to it, it's not going to work. Because it has destroyed families. It has destroyed everything because of how powerful it is and how influential it is. And it's going to keep doing it until it just dies out. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what needs to happen. Otherwise, it's real. Destruction is real. And it's way too influential to be thinking that it's just a game. That stuff has had a huge effect on our community. And it's going to be extremely hard to get us out of that situation. I'm going to close this video out right here. And I hope you think about what I said. And I hope you understand that this is not a joke. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all take care.